Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema Now Showing. Each episode, we highlight a brand new release. We'll discuss what we love about the movie and maybe don't love about it. But don't take our word for it. Go see the movie for yourself.
And that's right. And that's what we did. What's going on, Mike?
Nothing much. As you know, the sun is dying. In about 30 years, temperatures will drop between 10 and 15 degrees, maybe 20 degrees. Crops will die, banking systems will collapse. So, 5 billion people will die. So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Only it's not fine. So I got to figure out why the sun is dying. Once I figure out why the sun is dying, I got to figure out the only sun in our kind of cluster of the Milky Way that isn't dying. Get sent there, get memory loss, and be the sole surviving member of my crew and work with a funny little puppet alien to save essentially 2 planets and do it with science and friendship.
That's right. Mike and I took on Project Hail Mary this week. Actually, we did not see this film together. Mike saw it in IMAX today, actually, at our local cinema, and I saw it in a crappy theater in a crappy auditorium. No, I'm just kidding. I saw my local theater. Listen.
Field's review is going to be tinged.
No. If you, as you work in the theater industry, you kind of notice things more so than someone else did. So I'm fully aware that I was more attuned to what was the issue. But after 15 minutes just watching it, I just watched it, whatever. I put, that didn't affect anything. So except maybe the crackling. The crackling speaker to my right, which I was like, come on, man, if you can't handle this score, why are you on? So yeah, that's where we were there. So we saw this separately for the first time. My son wanted to see this film, so he was like, hey, maybe we should go see this. So of course I'm going to do that. He doesn't like large formats, so I did not see it in IMAX. So, but hey, that's fine. We haven't really talked about it at all. So
I purposely didn't ask you or say anything. I didn't allude to anything. I wanted to keep it
sure.
I was even when I told you because I was going to see this with Elise last night, and she had to go to a conference super early in the morning. She had to wake up 4. So she was like, I'm going to be too tired. I'm not going to watch it. So I was like, I was hesitant to complain to you about her not watching movies, but since I was so frustrated again. I was like, another movie not watched.
Yeah,
I was just hoping your response wouldn't be, "Don't worry, it's shitty anyway. Don't watch this." I was like, "Don't talk about the movie at all," because we rarely for the now showings we rarely don't have any kind of context of what the other person thought, because we usually see them together, so we have some
together,
kind of
idea. Yep, totally. All right, so who wants to start? Who wants to break the ice here? You or me?
I'll break the ice because I'm sure I know what your review is.
I know you loved it. But go ahead.
This movie is phenomenal. I loved this movie. I thought it was great from start to finish. I do think it's not perfect,
right?
But it's phenomenal. It is not perfect. It does have some issues here and there, but overall, as a film, I love this movie. I will absolutely watch this again and again. Which is, I would be hard pressed to say that about a lot of movies nowadays that I see. Even movies I like, I'm like, I like this movie, but probably not going to buy it on Blu-ray. I'll probably never watch it again. I would watch this movie a ton. This is and I liked The Martian quite a bit. This is The Martian times 10 times 20. I think this is a great movie. It sends a great message just overall. I mean, we'll get into all the other stuff, but yeah,
sure.
I thought this was a phenomenal film.
If we're going to compare it to The Martian, which I don't want to do, but if we're going to compare it to The Martian,
I just mean because that was his other film.
But it was Drew Goddard. He wrote that. He didn't direct that film. Ridley Scott directed that film.
But it's also based on an Andy.
You're talking about based on a book. Yeah, Andy Weir's book.
I
got you. I do like this film. I will say this though, it doesn't stick the landing quite as The Martian does. I can get into that. It's not a complaint. It's just it's a nitpick. I want that, everything that's been built up throughout this movie. I want the ending where he returns home and everyone's like, oh my God, is he home? You know what I mean? Did he make it? Did he make it? I want that ending. I don't want this drawn out 10 to 15 minute ending, which is fun, which is fine. It's cute. It's great. It's got the little thing in the end. I get that. But I kind of want the stuff I want the stuff on Earth only because we flash back to Earth a bunch of times, and we go back to Eva and the team, him kind of working up Carl, like these people, right?
Sure.
Carl, is that his name? Yeah, these people
Carl's
these people that we kind of meet along the way, and they're not we only get the one shot of her at the end reading the video, and it's just like, okay, that's great, but I want the big ending at the end, I guess. I want that Martian ending at the end, but that's me. So I get that. But I still enjoy the movie. I don't have any complaints about the film. I mean, probably if we can get into it, I'm sure I'll come up with something. But it's a good theater experience movie. It's a good movie to watch in the theaters. It's very similar to like when Top Gun Maverick was in theaters after the pandemic and all that stuff. It's that kind of feeling like, oh, you should get to the theater to see that. The problem is that there's not enough movies like this that have come out, and hopefully maybe this summer will change that. Like we'll get more of these type of films, but up until now, it's all just been kind of mediocre stuff or stuff it's good if you're like into that, or like some really cool horror stuff. But it's not like this. I think this movie has, and because it's doing well in the box office, I think it has bridged that gap of getting that casual moviegoer into the theater. Oh, you should see this film. And everybody I told that I saw this movie was like, oh, is it good? Like, so there are a lot of people that are interested in this film. So it is going to get a lot of word of mouth, I think. But I think we probably are right there along the side in terms of the same points, what we liked most about it. I guess, do you want to start with the relationship between Rocky and Grace Gosling's character?
Rocky and Grace make the movie. It's
they have to.
I don't want to keep saying phenomenal, but it is great. Yeah, they do have to. It would fall completely flat. And the fact that it's all done with like Rocky's a puppet without a face. And I thought that was just incredibly well done. Obviously Gosling is a great actor, and obviously you and I love him in The Nice Guys, and he's got some of that same energy in this. A lot of modern Gosling stuff, like you talked about. Like that's kind of like his kind of thing.
He's the same. We talk about like the movie star kind of like, he's not necessarily a character actor. He's the same way in the last maybe like 6 or 7 films that we've seen him in, which is fine. It works. I'm not calling it a shtick, but it works, so it's fine.
Well, I just like a couple of hours ago, I was watching a documentary on YouTube on the making of the film, and he talked about, or like an interview with him, and he talked about how he's had a 30-year career, and this is like, he couldn't have made this movie beforehand. And I kind of agree with that, because I think those last 6 or 7 movies, even though they're kind of the same, he wouldn't have been able to handle like doing that where he's not really acting with anyone on screen until maybe this. Like that takes, yes, it's his Gosling isms, I guess. But it's done really well. Fine. And it's something that it's very impressive. And Rocky as a puppet is, like I said, it's an astounding feat to have something with, a credit to the puppeteers, to the voice actor, to have something that's not emotive the way we think of as emotive, and to kind of care about the character, because you have to care about Rocky almost as much as you care about Grace, because he's your second lead in this film, and he doesn't arrive until 25-30 minutes into the film, probably.
I'm trying to remember. It is pretty. It is somewhat early in the movie, because it's when he gets to
Tausetti.
I'm trying to remember what they call the demarcation line of all the astrophages. I can't remember the line they call that.
Yeah.
He does it when he gets there. Yeah, and that's pretty much like 35 minutes into the film, so it's definitely
soonish.
Yeah. What did you feel about the science of it? Because we have to kind of learn a lot of stuff during this film. Like, it's not like there's stuff that maybe going in we know, and you may know offhand, but there is stuff that they're coming up with and not making up, but so what do you think about how that information was delineated? That's not a word. That information was passed out or handed out to us through the flashbacks in the beginning a little bit. How do you think that went well? Or did you think that went well? Excuse me.
I thought they did a pretty good job of it. I think they did a good job explaining what the astrophage was right off the bat, figuring out, there's bacteria. They have that whole discussion. The math is, from what I've read in interviews and stuff, the math that, Grace does on the chalkboard about how much fuel he has left. All that's true. Yeah. The fact that they use the astrophage to create the fuel that they need, I think that's fascinating. My only issues are that they don't like with the science, there's some stuff in there that like maybe you and I can figure out, maybe fans of sci-fi, like why is she so old and Ryan Gosling is so young and all that kind of like the stuff that happens with like light speed. And when you're traveling toward the speed of light, yes, you can get somewhere. Like if you travel at the speed of light, you could get to Tau Ceti or Alpha Centauri in like 100 years or whatever with light year travel, but the world will have aged incredibly far. Nothing will be familiar when you get back. If you saw Interstellar, it's the same thing. And they don't really explain that. So I think the common moviegoer would probably be like, why is she so old, but he's so young? And you keep switching back, like at the end when they show Ava. So I think they kind of expect you to just know that, which I think is not. Mm-hmm. I think they should explain that a little bit. And then why the crews died. Like, obviously, they explain how Rocky's crew died. Oh, it was the radiation. But how did Grace's crew die? And they never really get into that.
I asked my son that. I said, because he was asking me, did you like the movie? Because he was a big fan of the film. And he was like, did you like the movie? I go, yeah. And I was like, I just don't understand like how the crew died. He's like, well, they say like the coma stuff, the coma juice they use isn't really that good. I go, well, then how come he died? How come he didn't die? He's like, he got lucky. I go, all right, fine. So he kind of explained it.
Okay, I didn't pick that up. Okay.
He kind of explained it to me. He also goes to me, so as we're watching it, the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer come on, and I go, do you want to see that? And theater's like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't caught up on it enough. I go, he's like, I haven't watched the show. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah. He's also like, I'll just watch it on digital. I'm like, okay. so he was already passing judgment on
pragmatic. Wow.
So I thought that was interesting. He does want to see Supergirl though. So anyways, but yeah, so they do kind of explain it a little bit, but I hear you. It's not fleshed out. Like they don't, so I guess you're saying he stays young because he's traveling towards us closer to the speed of light. Not that he's clearly not in any kind of cryo freeze or anything like that we normally see in sci-fi films.
Right. Yeah. Including, well, no. So I guess, yeah, because what was it? Ad Astra did the same thing.
Yes.
Induced comas and not actually freezing anybody.
Right. So, so I hear what you're saying there. Did you like that way it opened? Cause it just starts off and he's just like, he's not remembering anything. You have no idea what's going on. And then you kind of find out how he gets onto the ship later, which I'll ask you about too. But do you like, how it opened like that? Cause it was kind of like, almost like you're plopped right in the middle.
I do, because I don't want to start on Earth. I want to start in the middle of the action. I want to start in space. I don't want to be like waiting. All right, let me get this. Because if I was just on Earth, his interaction with his students is cute and all and stuff like that. And it's great character building. Mm-hmm. But I want to see space. So if I didn't get space first, I'd probably be like, let's space it up. Let's do some stuff. There was a movie we did. I don't remember if it was a now showing or just like I don't remember what it was, but it took a long time to get to what I was there for. And that was like one of my biggest complaints was I want to get, let's do it. Let's get there, especially with space films. Cause I'm a huge space guy and there's not enough space films. And so if I'm going to watch a space movie, I want to get into space. The one thing his memory is very convenient. I will say that how it comes together in order.
Okay. So
not reverse order.
Not that he lost it. Not that it was Swiss cheese, to pardon my French, for Quantum Leap, but because that's another thing that they don't really explain, right? Like we're supposed to know that the induced coma is part of that. Like that's the drugs.
I think that's something she tells him before, like, oh, you're going to have some memory loss, but you'll get over it or something like that. Why not recover your memories backwards with the most recent one first, and then you go backwards, which obviously storytelling wise, you don't want to do. Yeah, of course. But I thought that was kind of convenient. But at the same time, it helps to tell the story in a way where I'm getting the story I'm there for and then getting the backstory as well.
Right. So let's talk about the end when we discover how he gets on the ship. Do you like that, the way that he is put onto that ship, how it's generally forced? What do you think of that? Number one.
I have two thoughts about that going into coming out of the movie, because on the one hand, I like it because Ava's not really his friend. She's there to make the mission go by. Like,
she says that. She says that the whole time. Yeah. The whole question of when he's like, how do you ask people to do? Yeah. When he's like, how do you ask people to do it? And she's, how do you not have a problem? And she's like, I just don't. Like, it needs to get done. That kind of thing. Yeah.
So like, she's not his friend, and that kind of proves that. Like, that's not it. Carl's not his friend. He's got no one on Earth that really to go back to really care about. Yes, he wants to protect Earth and all that, and yes, he says at the end, you know, you were right. I am kind of brave because I'm gonna go save my friend. But Rocky is his friend. Rocky's the only person he really connects with and connects back with him. Yes, he connects with Carl, but Carl ends up betraying him. Like, you're going to do great, bud. Like, it doesn't give a crap that he's sending Grace off to die. So I like that because it proves that Rocky was always his, you know, his ride or die. But at the same time, this movie is, I want to, at some point I want to get into like the controversy, not the controversy, but what people saying on the internet sucks.
Ooh, I didn't hear that. All right, go ahead.
This movie is very hopeful, very positive, especially at the end. And to have that real downer moment toward the very back end, I would rather it have come a little bit before they solved the incident, because now I'm like, oh yes, finally they did it. And I should have that. And yes, at the end it is hopeful and it is nice, but that kind of drags it down just a little bit, that I was like, it's kind of a bummer to throw in right at the end when I'm like cheering for Rocky and Grace to have gotten the job done.
Yeah. So I agree with you there. I actually have a same take as you, but I agree with you, but I have a different take. And anyways, so he is our hero. And if you've writers out there, if you ever read The Hero's Journey by Christopher Vogler, and this is not just known to him too, but like part of like a hero's journey is the refusal to accept that hero, for the refusal to take action. So if you ever watch movies, and I know I'm not preaching to you, I'm just preaching.
I know.
Yeah. If you ever watch films, you know, when you have your hero, there's always a moment where he's asked to do something to save the day, and he's like, no, I'm not the man you're looking for. This isn't me. It's not my thing, that kind of thing. But then he always answers the call when he needs to. Gosling doesn't answer the call, and he's forced into it. And I don't accept that him sitting there on the, like you just said on the video saying, you're right, I'm brave. That's not him. That I don't accept that as him accepting to answer the call. Like, he wakes up in space. Right. What's he supposed to do? Just die? He goes through the motions where he's like drinking and depressed, and then he's gonna obviously there's a self-preservation aspect that kicks in there. I don't buy that as him answering that hero's journey. So I agree with you. Yeah. I don't like that moment at the end because of that, because you never give our hero the opportunity to accept the job and do it. Like, you could, and again, not my movie, I won't write it. That's where I felt with that. I was really just kind of like, oh, okay. It doesn't sit right with me. So right there, I agree with you. And I think for a different reason, but the reasons you're saying, I agree as well. It just does that moment just doesn't sit right. So yeah. And to be fair, Mike, and I say this all the time, I probably need to rewatch the film too, to really get a sense of my opinion. But that moment really stuck out to me, because I was just like, this isn't what I want. Like, I don't want Grace this is not how I want to imagine his last days on Earth were, being forced into the pod to go up and save the world.
I mean, I'm okay with that, but you got to give it to me a little earlier, because at the end, because that's mixing with his real hero journey, which is to sacrifice himself for Rocky. But I'm getting them at the exact same time, and I think that kind of muddles his actual hero moment. His hero moment isn't saving the Earth, like you said. What are you going to do? You're stuck. Like he says, and I think it's great when he's like, it's all right, Rock, I'm going to die. I've accepted. I've made peace. And then Rock's like, why are you crying? You said you were okay with it. That was a lie, man. That's just what people say. Like, I thought that's a great line. Like, he clearly, like, yeah, he doesn't want, he wasn't okay with it. Right. So yeah, I agree. That's a good take.
So what is this controversy that you're talking about?
I guess because I think I told you before we even saw it, there are a lot of people like, well, if this is the future of movies, I don't know. Like, I think that I've heard it called Hope Core, like the people that also hate on the new Superman movie, which you could hate on it for different reasons, but because it's hopeful, because it's
why is that a bad thing now? That's a bad. Well, no, I shouldn't. People complain about Hollywood endings all the time. People complain about Spielberg endings all the time. I don't know. Sure. You know what? Though, Mike, my reply to that is like, what fucking movie do you want then? Like, what do you want?
Exactly. You just want like Watchmen all the time and the Dark Snyder. Like, is that all you want for like the movie? Like, the outside world sucks enough, but like there should be something that's hopeful that you should aspire to. That's what that's what films should be.
Well,
They
no
shouldn't all be
movies are
dark and
escapism.
depressing.
It's escapism. Yeah, no.
But also
That's
like
stupid.
hopeful, like teaching you science and oh yeah, you use intelligence to save the day. Like, and people are like, that's stupid because it all wants, like, you want Ryan, do you want Grace to blow up? Do you want him to finally choose between Earth and your hero chooses Earth and Rocky dies? You know, Rocky died. Like, what do you want from the film?
That feels like a small, outspoken minority that are just want to bitch on the internet, and that's fine. They can have. Sure. That's fine. You want to live your life like that, and you want to just kind of like be, you want movies that just end badly for everybody in the film. That's fine. And I know plenty of people. I knew plenty of people like that growing up. I knew plenty of people like that when I went to film school for a couple months. I know plenty of people that that's the type of films they want. That's fine.
Oh yeah, the art school, film school people.
Yeah, and that's fine. And listen, I like some of those movies. I don't really connect with them as much as I connect with probably maybe some of the other stuff. But like all Spielberg films, that's what they're like. They're about that. They're about like, well, except when he went through his dark period. But other than that, they're like that. That's how they're like. That's listen, happy endings are part of Hollywood all the time. That's why people tell stories. So that's whatever.
That's why you go to the theater to escape. Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's a stupid argument that's being had about like quote unquote hope core. And honestly, I don't think there's enough hope. I don't think there's enough movies like that because the examples are like Superman, this movie, and The Martian, which is already almost like probably 6 or 7, if not 10 years old with our 2020 time suck. I don't even know.
So they want a Superman. They want a Superman where he doesn't save the day.
I guess they want a Superman where the White House blows up, like the Snyder Cut. Like I don't know. It's just like this quote unquote. I hate the term, like the hope core term, which is something I just read yesterday. But the whole week long, I've been hearing about like those people, these kind of movies.
Go make your movie. Go watch those movies like that. I got to tell you right now, they don't make money, so that's why they don't make them. That's why they don't make them. The movies that have these type of uplifting endings or have movies that are about something like this, they make money because that's what people want to see, because they want to go to the theater to escape whatever their crappy lives are, whatever's going on in their life. They don't want to go to the theater to feel crappier when they walk out. Come on. That's stupid.
I also think there's something about movies that inspire people, like heroes you can actually look up to. Like when we were growing up, there were heroes you could look up to. They weren't, yes, there were occasionally fallible heroes, but there were a lot of infallible heroes. This movie teaches you that science can do like it's great that Dexter likes this kind of movie. And then he'll go to science class and enjoy science. Like that's important. And movies can do that. The amount of archaeologists that came out of Indiana Jones, the amount of paleontologists and paleobotanists that came out of Jurassic Park is a measured amount of things like that. The amount of astronauts that have come out of being Star Trek fans, I think that's incredibly important for society and something that is great that Hollywood does. And Hollywood does a lot of terrible, crappy things, but that is the one good thing that they do. And I think people like shitting on that and crapping on that is just like, come on.
That's just people wanting to complain.
I get it. It's all trolls on the internet, but like their voices are magnified, which is stupid.
Whatever. That's dumb. I mean, you could not like this film just because you don't like. I mean, I would, if people don't like this film because I don't like happy endings. Okay, that's fine. That's great.
Well, that's the dumbest thing. All the reviews are, this movie's great, but if this is the future, like what?
I don't understand what they mean by the future of cinema. Like it's like
if they're all going to be hopeful films, aspiring films, I don't want it.
I think we are getting to a place, Mike, where we are going to get. I just want to move away from the superhero films. Like I just don't want the superhero films anymore, because then we get not that it wasn't fun while it lasted. It's great, but then you get the clones, and then you get the movies that are just not good, and they're just because they have a superhero in them that they're given $170 million for their budget, and they're give me movies like this, give me the big move, give me big swings and misses like we talked about with The Bride. Give me the movies that try something, and if they fail, they fail. If they don't, they don't. But like, give me those films. That's what I would rather have, and I hope that's coming. I hope that's what this part. I loved what Gosling said at his screening, where he was like, "It's not up to you." He's talking to the audience, like, "Not up to the audience to come save theaters. It's up to us to put good movies in the theaters to get you in here." And I thought when he said that, I was like, "Yes, thank you." Yeah. And it's up to you to tell those movie theater managers to make sure that the projectors are working. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, I don't want to give any. I know we talked about it. And I know we asked about the controversy, but screw them. I don't want to hear about these people anymore. They can go on hating films all they want. I watched last night, Mike. I watched Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. That's a movie
Yes,
for
after
them.
the recording, I was going to ask you what you thought of it.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know. But that's a movie for them. They can go watch that film. Yeah, I mean, there's not much. Like I said, the stuff I was talking about in terms of nitpicking or negative, it's not really. It didn't ruin the movie for me. I just, like you said, had questions, just curious. I thought it looks great. I thought everything looked really cool.
Yes, the spaceship set is great.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I liked when he was out in the ship, and then he flips on the screen and everything turns pink, so he's like seeing all the astrophage and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of cool shots. And you know, he's funny, obviously. So and like you said, the relationship works. Even the stuff when he's flashing back with Carl when they're building the Venus and they're trying to find the astrophage, and he's like, you know,
find all the sour Skittles.
Yes, I thought that was good. I think that I kind of hoped that it kind of carried through the entire film. You're right though. When he's up in the spaceship, it's just him and Rocky. So it's like, you know, you really don't have all the flash. You have the stuff with the flashbacks with the other people, but you really don't have all that stuff on the ship. So you're just kind of hoping that they can carry it through, and they do. So there's no issue there. Did you think it was long?
I did. That would be like one of my only complaints is I think there's a moment like the second act, there's like a little bit where it goes a little along. And then the third act, I feel like because there's kind of double ending with, yes, we solved the astrophage, but I still haven't completed my hero's journey because I was forced to do that, which we don't learn until afterward. So my real hero's journey is going to save Rocky, which is part of why I feel like we should have learned he was kind of, what's it called? Shanghaied into the job earlier, because by doing that, you give me like a Return to the King kind of thing, which is I love the Return to the King movie. I think it's a great movie, an end to that trilogy, but it's got those 5 freaking endings where the camera fades out and you're like, all right, credits. I can, oh no. Okay. I can't go pee yet. All right. And, I can't. No. So you think, I got like 5 minutes. Oh no, there's like 30 minutes left in this sucker. I did look at my watch at that point when I was like, this can't be over yet. And I looked at my watch and I go, oh shit. So I do think, I don't know if you agree. I think a little bit in the second act and a decent chunk of the third could be like reconfigured a little bit. Could have been reconfigured a little bit to like, that's a real word, to flow a little bit better.
I don't know where you would cut. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
Trim. Yeah.
I'd have to watch it a couple more times to maybe like figure that out.
I mean, the flashbacks work until they don't towards the end, because the flashbacks, like a lot of times the flashbacks are helping him in the present. You know what I mean? Like he remembers something in the flashback, but then that stops happening. Then it's more of some emotional stuff. But yeah, I don't know where you're trimming a lot. Maybe like I would say this, like the opening when he's stumbling and fumbling around and all that stuff. I thought that was a little long because I was like, all right, can we get like, but I'm thinking like 5 minutes. What's that going to do? Like this. Yeah. So what's that going to do for that? I mean, and granted, when I'm watching it, I mean, you're watching it in IMAX and they can only really do 15 minutes of trailers. I'm watching it at the AMC, it's like a solid 30 minutes of trailers and commercials, and it's like almost every single trailer that's ever been out there is on. And I'm like, we got there at 10. We got in line and got water. We didn't get into our seasons about 10, 15, and we still saw like 8 trailers.
I got the Sheep Detective movie. I got Spider-Man Brand New Day, an Allstate commercial, and the movie began.
Oh yeah, no, I got those 2, and I got every other trailer under the sun. I was
kind of open for Dune because I wanted to see Dune, but I didn't even get Dune. I didn't get Supergirl. I didn't get any of that.
I got Dune. I got Scary Movie 6, which made me worry that I'm like, am I in the right theater? Yeah, so it's doing well. I know this is your pick for Fantasy Box Office League that we're in, so I'm sure you're happy about that. Although it's got a lot of money.
It's like $1 billion in the hole, man. It doesn't matter.
You gotta hope that it plays well overseas. Like that's where you'll get your big bump.
I hope so. I got to get some of that merch. I got to get I did Hoppers, and I'm sure the merch is selling crazy for Hoppers with Tom Lizard. And I got to get that Rocky merch for Project Hail Mary.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to be the hot toy this Christmas. That'll be how about this, Mike? Why isn't this out in the summer? Why isn't this a summer release?
summers are superhero stacked now. Oh, also
Right.
you have Disclosure Day, which is another sci-fi. So maybe they didn't want to oversaturate the sci-fi market. That could be it.
Okay.
They were like, "Whoa, Spielberg space. Let's not deal with Spielberg and aliens. We'll put it a little bit earlier." But it's
Well, why
March.
is this-
I mean, March is kind of the start of the summer.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Remember, I was going to say, like, it used to be the April movie releases used to be like, for like, that was when you saw Fast and Furious films, because they started doing those.
Then Hunger Games moved into March, and that was kind of what ate it up.
So you're saying this is trying to be the first kind of big movie out the gate. You do have Super Mario Galaxy coming on April 1st, so maybe that's another reason it didn't want to kind of mess with that. But this feels like a summer film. This feels like a film, like a July 4th film. This feels like that kind of movie. And maybe you're right. Maybe the summer's so stacked, that's why it's not there.
July or even November, like a Thanksgiving, watch it. Yeah. When was The Martian? I can't remember if The Martian was summer or holidays. The Martian was definitely within one of those time windows.
It was. It's October 2nd.
Oh, wait, so I was completely wrong.
Well, I'm wondering. You know what, Mike? I'm wondering if with that film and with this film, maybe the studio just didn't know if it was going to be as popular as it was, because it could. To be fair, if this film isn't as good as we keep talking, it could. If it was a big dud, then But I'm just surprised. Maybe they didn't know.
I mean, The Martian did big money for them and big critical acclaim. Sure. But I think this one presents another obstacle. Yes, it's Andy Weir, and yes, it's Drew Goddard and everything. But your second character is it's either going to be a CGI rock or they went puppet rock. And the studio's probably like, are people really going to like this puppet rock guy? And it probably wasn't until they've already started shooting stuff and saw the dailies that they're like, all right, this works.
Still though, like be the studio exec in charge here. Like, you can hype it up all you want, like all that stuff that came out. Like, I was getting worried, and I think I said this to you, because there was so much marketing for this film that I started getting like, I'm seeing way too many trailers for this.
You were getting a little down on it. You were knocking Rocky as being the
that's a big. I know that's a big red flag when you see the multiple posters for movies, like just consistently getting new posters, and there's so much marketing behind it. You're like, oh shoot, are they trying to do like a big opening weekend and then we'll see on digital in a couple of weeks? Like that scares me. So I'm curious if like the studio execs are doing that, like, so whoever's thinking in the back of their mind, I don't know if this is really going to really hit. Like, can Gosling carry this film? He is with an inanimate object for most of the film. Like, I mean, like, I'm not, I can see how that would cause panic. I could, because it's just, you just don't know. This is a 2.5 hour film. What are we doing here? Like, stuff like that. So it's not Star Wars, or we're in space, and this guy, stuff like that. They could be thinking about Ad Astra, like we're talking about. They could be thinking about the in their head. So I'm curious if that's why we're here in March, because they just didn't have the confidence to put it in the summer. Because, back in the 90s, Will Smith's in an action film and Will Smith's in a sci-fi film. That's a July 4th opener, because they knew that he was bankable. So maybe but it's surprising, because, we obviously are like Ryan Gosling as an actor. So it's a no-brainer for us, but I'm just curious if studio execs are just kind of like, they panicked.
Maybe. I'll say Tuesday, first show of the day in the IMAX. It was pretty busy for a Tuesday day. So
Discount Tuesday.
But the IMAX, people don't go for the IMAX on Discount Tuesday. People are like, nah, I don't care. They don't come to the movies on a Tuesday because they want to see a movie. I hate going on Tuesday. I only went because I had to.
I was in a 50-seat theater, and we probably had maybe 15 people in there at a 10 a.m. show on a Sunday. Yeah.
Wow.
And it might be because it was an early show. It was a small house. Maybe they wanted it because it was also in their large format Dolby. So
I think nowadays when people see the seating map, because that would happen when I would work box office and cover shifts, people would look at the seating map and go, oh no, what's your other time? That theater looks too small. And they would people would not want to go to movies that look pathetic like that.
I hear you. So safe to say we both like this film. Safe to say that it's going to do well. I think. Obviously, we both recommend, I guess, people to see it. I got any last thoughts that I haven't talked about this film yet, but Mike, or you want to share, or any kind of, you want to do pitch for people to go see this film?
I mean, I think everyone's I haven't heard other than like what we talked about, like with those trolls on the internet. I haven't heard one bad thing about this movie.
Yeah.
Coming from anybody. I would recommend anybody to watch it if you're down on the human experience lately, because who's not lately? This is a great movie to watch right now. This is a perfect time for this kind of movie. It's hopeful. It's great. It's grand adventure. It looks great in the IMAX. I can't. It celebrates teachers. It celebrates science and math and togetherness and just. It's fantastic. It's exact everything I want from a film, and I think it's everything a lot of people want from a movie. And I can't think of a single person I would not recommend this film to. I don't know.
Is what don't you know?
Oh, if you have the same, like, who would like recommend it to?
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a big word of mouth film. So I think it's a summer film. It's a summer film in March. So yeah, it's definitely a good movie to kick off your summer season. I know movies are expensive. I get it. I think, I mean, enough has been said about all this, but I really do think like going to the movies is a community event, is a community thing. And it's time to get back to that. It's time to stop hiding behind screens and just get out there and do stuff. And yes, people talk. Yes. I mean, people talk and whatnot. And you know, the talking doesn't bother me. It's when somebody blatantly just goes on their phone. It's like, just go leave the theater. Regardless of that, it's definitely something you should check out in theaters. And then also, if your theater is crappy, demand that they fix the screen and demand that they fix the projectors. And then tell them to call me and I'll yell at them. But yeah, and I think this film is, if you could see it in IMAX, yeah, but I think it's going to only, I know by us, I think Super Mario is going to be in IMAX. So this is probably only got a week's run. So yeah, maybe like a 10 day.
One more week left.
Yeah. So if you can check it out, this is, I will say this, Mike, when I was thinking about this film, when I was talking with Dexter about it afterwards and he was like, oh yeah, I want to watch it again. I thought to myself, it's like, this is a film that I would buy on Blu-ray, because if I had the whole setup, I had the home theater experience set up again. Whereas this is a film that I would buy on Blu-ray to watch again at home, because I think it would sound great and it would look great. And I want to see lights behind my TV. So I think that would look good too. So this is one of the films I was like,
the red light. Yeah.
So when he says that, I was like, you know what? I really have to go out and get these speakers. I really have to go and make that purchase. So, but will that happen? I don't know. So yeah, so it's definitely worth going to. It's definitely worth seeing. You know, and it's definitely a good way to kick off the summer season, even though we're in spring.
Agreed.
All right. Well, tell them where they can find us.
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you're getting your shows. You're listening to us, watching us right now. Just so you know, we have our main show, Forgotten Cinema, that comes out every Wednesday. When this drops right now, we'll have just put out our episode for I Don't Remember, but I'm editing it tonight. And that's a great movie. So you should Soap Dish, which is a very good movie. It's a comedy. You watch that. We come out every Wednesday, another forgotten film. Seems to be forgotten by audiences. We have over 300 episodes of that thing. So go ahead and check that out. We do now showings. Our April now showing moved to before this film. It was supposed to be Ready or Not 2. So I think April's going to be a little light for now showings, but that's fine. We kind of need a break. We went heavy in March and February. So check out Forgotten Cinema. We do still have a look back episode on Patreon coming out. Harry Met's Alley. We have Carrie 50th anniversary coming out. So we got those. If you're a Patreon member, you get those exclusive episodes. We're going to have a redo because we lost the episode of our Mario Brothers watch console to screen episode coming out with Russell Lyman to kind of coincide with the new Mario Brothers movie coming out. If you're looking for something in April that we got going on, that's extra. And check us out. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on our Patreon, going on our merch store.
Our next now showing will be in May. It'll be Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu. I guess we're going to see that. And then Disclosure Day after that. So those will be our next ones.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So, go see the movie. Go see Project Hail Mary. Go see all the new movies if you want, please. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema, now showing Project Hail Mary.
Field?
Yeah.
Fist my bum.
My new phrase is going to be words of encouragement.
Words of great encouragement.